So how would you describe just everyone's attitude after, losing to Alabama? It appears you can't make it to the SEC championship, so maybe a readjustment of goals and whatnot moving forward.
Uh, so it was down for like the day after, but we have a 24-hour rule, and once that 24 hours is up, you just got to flip the script. And so now we're just focusing on Florida State, and every game means everything to us. We treat every game the same, and just because our goals aren't the same anymore doesn't mean we don't have anything to play for. We still have LSU to play for, State of Louisiana to play for, a ton of stuff to play for. Mm-hmm.
Kyron Lacey was just here. Can you kind of what have you seen out of him in terms of there has been some drops, some tough times, and then lately making those touchdown plays and big plays for you?
So like when I'm out there on the field, the drops, I kind of just don't even, at the time I don't even know like who dropped it. But I do know when I see that touchdown, who's got the ball. I mean, that's all that matters to me at the end. And so when he makes those big plays, like when they're needed, that's all that matters to me. And yeah, he's been doing that. He's been doing great. Yeah.
Garrett, the offensive line has been so good all year long. What's it like being like a small part of just such a solid group?
Yeah. So the offensive line, 5 people have to work together. So it's something that like everyone has a little part to do. And like we all came back from last year pretty much, so we're all familiar with each other, comfortable. Yeah, it's great. It's been going good. Watching film's been going good. So yeah.
When you see your quarterback go down with an injury and have to leave the game, how do you guys kind of respond as a unit?
It's one of those things that's like it happened, and there's nothing we can do about it now, and we just gotta focus on the next play. It's just something you can't control. Like we can't control that. We just play better and just keep on working.
And then when it switches in to Nussmeier, how fluid is that transition for you guys from Jaden to Nuss?
It's good. I mean, we practice with both of them, so practice is like how that game was. Like one play he's out and put Nuss in for a few reps, and then so when he goes in, nothing changes for us. Like he calls the same things, and it's good.
And then I'm kind of focusing really on in a game like that when it's the fourth quarter, you guys are down, and the environment is kind of getting at you. How do you try to help ease Nuss into that situation? Because you've been battling for 30 minutes, and getting him up to speed with all that.
I don't know if it's so much like easing them into it, because it's hard to ease someone into a fourth quarter, down by 2 touchdowns type of drive. But we just have to do what we've been doing, keep our calls up, and then so it feels like normal for him. It feels just like how practice would feel. And that's probably the best way I would say to ease him back into it, is just do what we've been doing and what he's comfortable with. Mm-hmm.
How did you feel that Jaden played on that big stage the other night? And should a guy be penalized because he gets injured and has to miss time when he's still, one of the best players in the country?
What do you mean by penalized?
Like in a Heisman discussion sometimes.
No, I don't think he should be penalized at all. I mean, he's been playing lights out every single game for the past, 9 weeks. Like, his stats say everything. Compare his stats to anyone else's stats. Like, there's no reason to penalize him for being hurt.
You said you see the touchdown catches. Do you see his runs sometimes?
Yeah.
You're amazed by what he does?
Sometimes. I think last game he broke out, started running, and broke some people's ankles. And like, oh, there's 3 people down, and he's still going. Like, can't be mad at that. 20 yards is 20 yards either way you go. So,
I just saw Coach Davis. He poked his head in here. I know I've asked you about him before, but what he does on the recruiting trail too, and just overall as your positions coach.
No, he's been great with us. I mean, he's always worked with us. He understands every one of us. We're all different, and he knows our personalities. So he knows how to coach each and every one of us like differently, but the same, if that makes sense. So if he has to be harder on someone or another person, maybe he has to teach more. So he understands our personalities, and so he's able to work with us really well.
You've had to have some people fill in due to injuries on the offensive line. I'm curious how you felt about the play of Lance Hurd as a freshman, kind of stepping in. I think it was Emery was down. He stepped in. What have you seen from him and his growth?
he's a freshman coming in, and then so when he gets in, he kind of has to kind of warm up. But once he warms up, he's a long kid, he's a tall kid, he's strong, and so I think once he gets going, gets the freshman out of him, kind of, he's unstoppable. He'll be good, yeah. So no problems with him.
Good. All right.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thank you.